Good afternoon, it's Wayne, Rogue Adventurer. Apparently my connection's weak, hopefully this works. So today, hang on. Okay. Turn the Wi-Fi off and just use 3G or 4G, whatever it is that's working up here. So, okay, yesterday had a chat with you and told you a bit about my my story, where I'd come from, and appreciate everyone's comments, support, and what they told me. Today, hopefully, I found a quieter place up at Kings Park. Quite a nice area. If you haven't been here, just come and check it out. So I've been here today, just sort of contemplating a few things, and I've got some big news to share. We'll see what people think when I say it. Yeah, so we'll just chat a little bit. So look, like yesterday, if you are watching this in the replay, thank you. If you're watching this obviously now as we go live, then thanks for getting on, taking the time. If you get some value from this, then I would invite you to click the notification so you see when so you can see when it is that I'm on, and so you can keep up with what's going on. Hey Rat, how you going, buddy? I wanted to start with a bit of a quote. Okay, it's from Teddy Roosevelt, and it was a speech he did in 1910, and it was called "The Man in the Arena." It was a big speech. It's used quite a lot, especially by a lady called Brené Brown. She's an author. She's an author who talks about the power of vulnerability and how important it is. So this quote, it goes, it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without erring and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows the great enthusiasm and the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Tom, how you doing? Attila. So that's something that I feel quite strongly about, that particular quote. So I invite everyone to take a look at that, to Google it, have a look through it. It is actually a whole lot longer than that, but if it's not necessary to go through the whole thing, that first part is the important bit. So, The Man in the Arena, by Teddy Roosevelt, and basically, yeah, check it out. It was a really good one, quite powerful, I believe, especially when it talks about being, or to me, it talks about being resilient. So today, basically, it started. I was chatting with an old army friend. Facebook, thank you, allowed us to reconnect. We were going back and forth as we do, in a discussion, catching up, and she asked me what it is or why it is that I'm always on the move for, and basically she said, "Are you running away from something, or are you just exploring?" And I'm like, "Oh, am I running away?" So I did think about it for a bit, and my response was basically, I realise now that I was running away, and it was under the guise of exploring. But as I've learnt more about myself and my dis-ease, I began to understand that there are many forms of therapy and healing that don't follow defined paths. So this means that our journeys may not all necessarily, hey Mel, our journeys may not necessarily be following a path that other people set or suggest is the right way. So all of this kind of got me thinking, and I went back to a bit about what it is that I miss from, I guess, my time in the military, and some of the struggles that I've had getting out, and sort of, getting back into normal civilian life. So what I found or thought was that obviously in the army we're taught routines with structure, Everything's taught to specific sequences. We're drilled. The drills are ingrained to us through repetitions and regimental timings, and the strip and assemble of weapons, reveille, stand to, clearing patrols, morning routines, DP1 checks, all the fun stuff and the not so fun stuff. And I still remember being drilled on the parade ground as a recruit, shouting out a regimental timing to each movement, the old 1, 2, 3, 1. Fun and games, but kind of. And the things that I really missed on discharge, still are the structured days, the community that I had around me. Okay, that gave me a sense of purpose and belonging. So yeah, it was quite interesting. So yeah, hey Bladesy and Colin, how are you? So that sense of purpose, the belonging in the community, it's sort of something that you do really miss, because it's something that you're given, that you are able to structure your life around. Anyway, so I've spoken to a lot of other ex-military type tribes and and these are common things that we all miss. And if it wasn't for the community, it wasn't for your mates, or the sense of purpose and that belonging, it really wouldn't have been worth it at all. Because you do go through a lot of struggles that if you didn't have somebody there that you were struggling for, then it's kind of almost a worthless struggle, isn't it? So to me, that's why so many do struggle when they get out. Okay, when they discharge, you go back to your hometown and you find that nobody even remotely understands sort of where you've been, what you've done, the things that you've seen. And we go from this integrated, hey PJ, how's things? We go from this integrated network of this supportive environment where your mates have your back, and you end up in a world where it's every man and woman for themselves. It's kind of stab in the back, heartless stuff. And it seems that teamwork almost doesn't exist. Camaraderie only lasts as long as it suits the sharks that are swimming around in the tank until they get what they want. It isn't entirely always supportive. Now, I know it's a generalisation, and that there are many amazing civilian workplaces, sporting teams, clubs, organisations that provide so much and such great support networks. But you know what? They all pale in comparison to the bond that forms with your brothers. And it's only through shared adversity that the true bonds of friendship form. It's not always something that you easily find within civilian street. Okay. And so I think what it is we need structure in our daily lives and a daily routine with drills and actions on that we can follow to help keep us pointed in the right direction. Hey Nanane, and I believe that we can all achieve this, but we just need to take positive action. Okay, we need to take radical responsibility for our own lives, our own health. So yesterday, when I was speaking, I spoke about how I found running, yoga, freediving, and the breath work to be all powerful tools that help keep me on track. And it's part of the management of the whole being, okay, the whole program, the whole process. And today I actually made a decision that's something I've been fighting or denying for quite some time, and it's something that I decided is actually the right decision for me now where I am in my life. It'll be controversial, I'm sure, and loads of you will tell me that this decision is wrong, but it's my decision. And ladies coming around to close windows, so I might get noisy. Vicky, how are you? Lynn, how's things? Oh, no, she stopped. Anyway, it's the joy of doing things in public places, in a quiet spot, trying to get away from the noise, isn't it? Okay, so the big thing that I've done, look, it has taken me a long time to actually decide that this is the path. I wasn't happy in doing it before. I had all of my tools and my coping mechanisms lined up properly and working. Okay, so basically what I've done is I've chosen Pete, you can watch the replay. I've chosen to go on medication as an additional mechanism for support for myself. I'm choosing to do this basically as a way to complement my current coping and management strategies. And basically, I think that the plan I have in place works really well. And basically, I think that this is something that is going to complement it and help make it work better. I'm not saying that medication is the only solution, and I'm certainly not relying on it to solve any issues. And I don't see it as being the only answer, not at all. But like I said, it is part of the solution. Okay, it's part of a robust management plan that involves regular exercise, yoga, daily meditation, practice of mindfulness, and allowing myself to be present in the moment. That's, I think, one of the most important things that you can do. I invite everybody to give me their thoughts on this, what they think about the use of medication as part of their coping mechanisms. I want to create some engagement, some thoughts and some conversation around this, because I know myself that medication was something that I was quite scared about going back on, because I didn't think that it was something that was working on its own. It certainly wasn't the solution. I do ask, though, if you do have a view on the subject, that you keep it respectful. Okay, it's a discussion, and we want to help people who are in the same shoes that we're all in. I'm going to end it with this. Okay, in order for us to grow and for us to learn, we must take on challenges that radically expand our sense of what is truly possible. Okay, just think of that. Hey Inga, how you going? Think how that taking on the challenge and doing something that expands your idea of what's radically what you're able to do. Because if we don't empower ourselves to think outside of the box, to take greater steps to achieve what it is that we need to achieve in life, we're not going to achieve anything. We're going to go in circles and go nowhere. So thanks again for watching. If you're watching the replay, thank you. Have a great afternoon. I'm about to go for a run, so catch us later on. Wayne, the Rogue Adventurer, signing out. And basically, yeah, enjoy. Oh, sorry, Lynn. Great idea to take meds if your process structure isn't work or needs help, needs a helping hand to get you back on track. They are not the be all and end all, but they are a good tool to add to your toolbox. Boom. Definitely. Definitely, Lynn. They are a great tool. It's something that adds. Okay, it's not a standalone thing. So, take care. Alright, Wayne, the Rogue Adventurer. I'm going places and I'm about to go run a race, so see you later on.